box on the table, tiny trees, tiny cars, little bag of soldiers, and a painted paper sky. Instructions like a treasure map folded on my knee. Sunday in the kitchen, just these pieces and me. I've got glue on my fingers, time on my side. Whole little worlds in the space of a tide. If the big world's heavy, I just stay where I am, lost in my living room, building plastic dreams in my hand. Clouds in cotton batting, snow made out of sand, a river from a ribbon winding through the land. Dad walks in and lingers, says I had one like that. Leaves a fingerprint on a farmhouse roof and smiles as he pats my back. I've got glue on my fingers, time on my side. Whole little worlds in the space of a tide. If the big world's heavy, I just stay where I am, lost in my living room, building plastic dreams in my hands. Street lamps on a cardboard hill, tiny tracks that never end. I move the tanks an inch or two, like I'm rewriting what has been. Outside it's all too fast, too loud. Here I know the master plan. I can stop the storm with a bottle cap, bring the sun with a desk lamp stand. Oh yeah! I've got glue on my fingers, time on my side. Whole little worlds in the space of a tide. If the big world's heavy, I just stay where I am, down on the carpet floor, building plastic dreams in my hand.
Please don't tell Scotty the warp drive won't light. The wires and LEDs fit is too tight. Forbidden Planet Star Cruiser looks like it died. The Millennium Falcon looks like I pimped my ride. My start ships got a tilted nacelle. The saucer section's gone straight to hell. Robot from Lost in Space is laughing at me. The whole shuttlecraft is stuck on my knee. Please don't tell Scotty the warp drive won't light. The wires and LEDs fit is too tight. Forbidden planets testing my grace. Lost in my work on Lost in Space. Why do the lights flicker? Why won't they glow? I soldered and taped, but the power won't flow. Captain Kirk would never deal with this mess. I think I'm losing my model builder finesse. Skywalker's X-Wing sags, no matter how hard I try. I glued it back on, now it looks like a Y. The Jupiter 2 looks like a big tater chip. I'll use the Death Star as a bowl for some dip.
Trench coat flapping, ticket half wrapping, matchbook number in my palm. You light your smoke, drop a secret like a joke. Say, kid, you better keep calm. Midnight on the runway, engines humming low. We don't have a passport, we just gotta go. Suitcase full of trouble, hard about to burst. If the law hits the platform, we move first. We move first. Hey! Shadow on the platform, fedora pulled down, glove on the rail by your side. You take my hand, we jump past the band, cut through the crowd on the fly. Midnight on the runway, engines humming low. We don't have a passport, we just gotta go. Suitcase full of trouble, heart about to burst. If the law hits the platform, we move first. We move first. Hey, yeah! Whistle starts screaming, whole town dreaming. We're just two names in the file. You kiss me quick, flash of lipstick. Run, darling, we laugh and sprint the last mile. Midnight on the runway, engines humming low. We don't need a promise, we just need to go. Suitcase full of trouble, heart about to burst. If the law hits the platform, we move first. We move first. Hey! It feels in the lead. Hit the open bottle of paint again. Colors flying into the wind. Landed on the model I just did. Why can't I remember the lid? Glue had gotten on my thumb, smeared it on the canopy, ain't that done? I'm a klutz, that's for sure, but somehow I endure. Build models, build models. I'm a klutz, that's for sure, but somehow I endure. Build models, build models. box on the table, tiny trees, tiny cars, little bag of soldiers, and a painted paper sky. Instructions like a treasure map folded on my knee. Sunday in the kitchen, just these pieces and me. I've got glue on my fingers, time on my side. Whole little worlds in the space of a tide. If the big world's heavy, I just stay where I am, lost in my living room, building plastic dreams in my hand. Clouds in cotton batting, snow made out of sand, a river from a ribbon winding through the land. Dad walks in and lingers, says I had one like that. Leaves a fingerprint on a farmhouse roof and smiles as he packs my bag. I've got glue on my fingers, time on my side. Whole little worlds in the space of a tide. If the big world's heavy, I just stay where I am, lost in my living room, building plastic dreams in my hands. Street lamps on a cardboard hill, tiny tracks that never end. I move the tanks an inch or two, like I'm rewriting what has been. Outside it's all too fast, too loud. Here I know the master plan. I can stop the storm with a bottle cap, bring the sun with a desk lamp stand. Oh yeah! I've got glue on my fingers, time on my side. Whole little worlds in the space of a tide. If the big world's heavy, I just stay where I am, down on the carpet floor, building plastic dreams in my hand.
Please don't tell Scotty the warp drive won't light. The wires and LEDs fit is too tight. Forbidden Planet Star Cruiser looks like it died. The Millennium Falcon looks like I pimped my ride. My Star Trek ships got a tilted nacelle. The saucer section's gone straight to hell. Robot from Lost in Space is laughing at me. The whole shuttlecraft is stuck on my knee. Please don't tell Scotty the warp drive won't light. The wires and LEDs fit is too tight. Forbidden planets testing my grace. Lost in my work on Lost in Space. Why do the lights flicker? Why won't they glow? I soldered and taped, but the power won't flow. Captain Kirk would never deal with this mess. I think I'm losing my model builder finesse. Skywalker's X-Wing sags, no matter how hard I try. I glued it back on, now it looks like a Y. The Jupiter 2 looks like a big tater chip. I'll use the Death Star as a bowl for some dip.
Trench coat flapping, ticket half wrapping, matchbook number in my palm. You light your smoke, drop a secret like a joke. Say, kid, you better keep calm. Midnight on the runway, engines humming low. We don't have a passport, we just gotta go. Suitcase full of trouble, hard about to burst. If the law hits the platform, we move first. We move first. Hey! Shadow on the platform, fedora pulled down, glove on the rail by your side. You take my hand, we jump past the band, cut through the crowd on the fly. Midnight on the runway, engines humming low. We don't have a passport, we just gotta go. Suitcase full of trouble, heart about to burst. If the law hits the platform, we move first. We move first. Hey, hey! Whistle starts screaming, whole town dreaming. We're just two names in the file. You kiss me quick, flash of lipstick. Run, darling, we laugh and sprint the last mile. Midnight on the runway, engines humming low. We don't need a promise, we just need to go. Suitcase full of trouble, heart about to burst. If the law hits the platform, we move first. We move first. Hey!
It feels in the land. Hit the open bottle of paint again. Colors flying into the wind. Landed on the model I just did. Why can't I remember the lid? Glue had gotten on my thumb, smeared it on the canopy, ain't that done? I'm a klutz, that's for sure, but somehow I endure. Build models, build models. I'm a klutz, that's for sure, but somehow I endure. Build models, build models.
box on the table.
No, what they are is manufacturing facilities, manufacturing the engines and the wings.
Okay, we are live, and as you guys may have gathered, we are talking about the a habitual line crosser style naughtiness that's being dealt to our adversaries on the other side of the planet, and how finally the Army has learned to economize. You know, you got to think about it. It takes a geniusly sick puppy to say, hey, let's take this El Cheapo missile and put a seeker on it, you know, and take this piece of dumb ordnance that we've been using since World War II, right, and actually using the modern micro tech to make it be able to track a target. We're one step away from Terminator, baby.
Yeah,
did you see those pictures of the helicopters in the Appalachians? They were using a sky crane with a water boat.
Crane. Yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah.
Well, guys,
they for dumping water, Steve.
Yeah. They were going into the lake.
Did you see California where they were sucking the guy's swimming pool dry because they just tangled that hose and they were declaring emergency. They could use any source of water they found. And the guy was a good sport about it. He's like, hey, they're trying to stop a fire. But I thought that was just like he's there in his robe with his coffee, just watching him suck his pool dry. You know, it's like I got to admit, it's about what I do. You know, click. Okay, everybody, I'm Max of Max's Models.
The pictures I've got from the Apaches hovering over my head.
If you haven't dangled from a rope under a UH-1, you haven't lived.
Little bird.
They couldn't pick me up. Because they are little birds, and I'm a big boy.
We did worse than dope on a rope. We were literally side slung on the sides of it with machine guns.
I was at Fort Campbell in 1979 going through air assault school, and I remember standing on the skid of the UH-1, you know, in the rappel position. And it was surprising, you know, the Black Hawk, they put the big ring that you put the rappelling rope up on the ceiling. But in the UH-1, it was on the floor. So you're like way out there. But I remember standing, and you had to wait for them to give you the call to rappel. On rappel, you know. And I'm sitting there waiting, and I'm in the 90-degree position, you know, and when my boots hooked on the skid, and I'm looking, and I see the pilot just, you know, trying to hold it in a hover with all this weight jiggling out there. And I wanted to go to flight school, and I'm like, boy, that looks like a cool job. I can't wait to go to flight school. You know, and I'm 90 feet off the ground or 60 feet off the ground, you know, dangling by a nylon rope. All I think about is, oh, that looks so cool. Because I was 18 and invincible.
I remember when I went through air assault school, I was class 9006.
I don't know what my class number was. I didn't remember. Well,
I remember. Well, the problem is 9002 class that I was in was.
Oh, anyway. Okay, so to it. Guys, Max's Models, we have Ken, we have Steve, and we have Chris of Copperhead Modeling with us. And we're supposed to talk about dioramas, although you get two old Army guys talking, you know. And
Copperhead Models, does that mean you do snakes?
Ted, Steve, if you saw where I'm sitting, I could probably walk out in the yard and get a copperhead.
I'm in Florida, please. I probably got one in the room.
Where in Florida are you at?
I'm not. I'm 30 miles.
No, I'm in Florida. He's in Fort Campbell,
Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 30 miles from Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Or as they say in the old Kentucky.
Well, if I kick my southern accent on, it's Kentucky.
Well, Kentucky's an Indian word, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. And Ken, they named a state after you.
Well, I'm 1/3 Cherokee Indian.
Yeah,
So.
it's called confusion.
That's my usual state. Yeah.
But no, Kentucky's a beautiful state, and the one thing I really appreciated about being at Fort Campbell was they had 4 seasons. You know, I'm from Florida. It's summer, 10 months out of the year.
Yeah, but how many times did you have all 4 of those seasons in one day?
Yeah, well, but at least you have snow in the winter, heat in the summer, beauty in the spring, and pretty leaves in the fall. We pretty much have alligators year round. So
you were just happy to be there because you thought they were going to make a redo of Stripes, and they'd
they filmed Stripes where I did basic training at Fort Knox, and that where the bus comes in. That was the real U.S. Army Indoc Center.
Did you ever see Master Sergeant Jordan or Sergeant First Class Jordan? drill sergeants?
We had so many Jordans, and may have, but
Well, these two were drill
that
sergeants.
may-
One of them was a master drill.
yeah, that's possible. Delta
My
15-4
dad and
was
my
the
uncle.
unit. Okay,
That's my dad.
D-15-4.
Ricky Wagner says I was on Fort Campbell 82 to 85.
Oh, he and I overlapped. I was there 79 to 83, and the Army's as big as the Army is. It's a small world. You bump. What kind of troubles me is I've heard that only 3% of the current population have ever served in the military in the U.S. That's I don't know if that number's right, but that's a little concerning.
2.5% to 3% ever served, and right now approximately 1.2% are serving.
What worries me is you start developing a caste system. You know, people do it because it's the family business, and one of the nice things about
Been
a
there,
draft,
done that.
yeah, one of the nice things about a draft is, you know,
Everybody does it.
yeah, and it democratized.
Well, the reason I
It's
said
only
been there,
be-
the reason I said been there, done that. My grandfather was in 2nd Armored Division in World War II. My father was in Vietnam, 100th Tank Division. I was multiple different things. And my daughter's a colonel in the Air Force. She's a nurse practitioner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I came from an
That
Air
number's
Force family.
skewed.
Yeah.
That number's skewed because of all the illegals.
I don't know. Some of them may have served in the militaries in their countries, so you never know. Did
No, I
you
mean-
ever see Scarface? You guys ever been in the Army? Yeah, in Cuba, man. Yeah.
Hey Max, have you checked the feed?
Yeah, because I'm still showing rotating pictures of the PBYs and other models on the.
And Diorama?
Make sure your slider's all the way to the right, that it's not at a previous. Because I'm showing this on my phone.
Oh, okay, there it is. All
yeah,
right.
yeah. If it gets bumped back a little bit, it goes back and starts already.
There we go.
Speaking
There
of,
we are.
Yeah. Speaking of PBYs, so we actually were supposed to talk about dioramas. That we already got off on the. You know, we just hit this one on a tangent, running, no wasting any time. So while we're at it, Godzilla 07 is the
Wait a minute.
timestamp. So just
Wait a
get
minute.
that little chore out of the way.
One more little thing. Cass Wayne says, I had the option for air assault or airborne. I became a parachutist. I figured being dragged behind a helicopter would be worse than instant death from a failed parachute.
Hey, failed
Everybody makes
parachute.
their own choice.
Make no mistake, the Army has a very clear policy on this. Failure to use your parachute properly is no excuse for not making it to PT.
Yeah.
As Drill Sergeant Hartman said, you know, you are not allowed to die without permission. But,
I've heard that many times.
Well, KLS&C has just proclaimed he won on the tangent time.
By the way,
Girl.
I want to thank everybody who sent me the Godzilla meme about the Strait of Hormuz. I think I've gotten it 6 or 7 times. So
Did you get the keychain I sent you?
I saw it. I have not opened it yet. Today has been I won on the tangent. Yeah, we were on a tangent from the moment the thing started.
I think we should give a prize out every week to whoever gets us the right time.
Yeah. You get a model, and you get a model, and you get a model. But,
You get one of Max's personally built models.
oh yeah, there's something to
Maybe not.
put in amber and save for the ages. By the way, since we've gotten nowhere near tonight's topic, I'll bring this up. The guys at Atlantis had sent me their Convair 990 kit, the Coronado, and I just got another one from a family member who was. I don't know if any of you guys are near Traverse City, Michigan, but apparently a hobby shop up there has folded after like 5 decades, so they were like fire sale. So they grabbed me a couple models. So I decided to put one together last night. I'll be doing a video on it later, but I couldn't resist. Now, if you guys ever saw Close Encounters of the Third Kind,
Yes.
okay.
Saw it in the theater of all places.
So did I. Of course, back then theaters were still a thing. 1977.
Star Wars in the theater.
Now, I just had recently, and I actually I think I did this when we even talked about it on a live stream about the air traffic control scene. Now, after a career in the airlines, I can tell you that is still probably one of, if not the best aviation-related Hollywood scenes ever made. They acted like controllers, they looked like controllers, they taught like controllers, they had the proper verbiage. They actually got to use the center, I think, at Palmdale to film it, so it was in a real facility. But for the longest time, I thought he was calling the airplane Aries Flight 31. It was Air East, because there's a removed scene that's on YouTube where the plane taxis in. It's a Convair 880. Guarantee you it's an ex-Delta airplane, because there's no flag, painted the tail white, but it's got the Delta paint scheme on it. It says Air East instead of Delta. Probably got it out of the boneyard, just got it where it could taxi. But I got the 990, which I know has the shot cones on the wing that the 880 didn't have. But I'm making it the Air East airplane, and I've been making a logo for the stand, which it's really hard to make out, but it's the controller's face, the controller's face reflected in the glass with the targets blipping, and it says Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and then it says Air East 31. So that's going to be on the stand as a decal or something. But fortunately, the decals that come with it look a lot like the actual ones that were on the airplane. Just going to replace the blue stripe with a red one. So, hey, I actually got to talking about models.
Meanwhile, Sarah Jane just pointed out, if you watch the practice for the Formula One race in Japan, the Haas Formula One team has a Godzilla livery on their F1 car.
I saw
Yes,
that.
they did.
She sent me a link of that. And I'm like, all right. Now I got an excuse to watch Formula One. So,
Well, you got to see who's gonna have Ghidra and who's gonna have
there's
Federer.
Eric. I want to see Ken do a tucky. And now the Ken jokes start rolling in. So, Chris,
Yes.
what did you make your base out of for your PBY diorama? I'll throw a picture of it up here while we're chatting it. I meant to
Right
have
here.
all my pictures lined up and got sidetracked doing other stuff. Just regular foam?
No, this is the hobby foam you get at Hobby Lobby. It's 1 inch thick, and it's normally about this big. It's like 2 foot by 2 foot. I'm sorry, 1.5 foot by 2 foot. My base was one and the other rest of this sheet, and then I had another piece up on top of it that I then shaped to
Okay,
make my shore and everything.
I'm covering my face, nobody else's, but I'm putting your diorama up here. Now we're running, I know you haven't done this before, Chris, it's about a 14-second lag. When I post something, depending on your internet, it takes 14 to 20 seconds before you see
I got
the
it just
screen.
now.
Okay, so I tell you what, I'll just expand this so everybody can see it better. So guys, if you want to pick your nose, now's the time to do it. If you want to talk about the steps you went through to make this.
Well, I got the foam, which you can see my foam. Glued the 3 pieces together to make the ramp where I could have the shoreline and the island sticking up. And then take a die grinder, little battery operated die grinder with a wire brush on it. And you use that to fuzz the edge off. You could see where the edge on it's been laid back for the coast, where the water would come up and beat the sand.
Mm-hmm.
And then I laid that back into the ramp. And then on top of it is literally the whole thing, after I got it shaped, was plastered. Just a real thin coat of plaster to fill all the holes. And then comes the painting and the rocks and the trees.
Yeah, I imagine that's standard stuff. Now, one thing I wanted to ask you about, and I knew somebody was going to, even I think you'd said somebody's going to say something about it, was the chap in the red beret.
If you look at what you said, you hit it on the head. He's an Australian overlooker.
Everybody was like, they didn't have red berets. They didn't. I was like, yeah, we probably should have put a note on there when we made it, when I made the video, because it didn't dawn on me. People pick it because red berets have been used by other outfits, and a lot of people tend to, I think, forget just how international a lot of these operations were.
Well, VPB 54, which is where my plane came from,
Mm-hmm.
was actually operated part of the time out of New Zealand
and Port Mosby.
Now, for
So
those
they
who aren't
had
familiar with the geography of these areas, there were not a lot of airfields. So the
No, that's the reason
boats,
PBY's acted so good.
Yeah, and
Slougo wants to know where you got the palm trees from.
Amazon.
Oh, yeah?
Where
What scale
else?
are they?
Where else?
I assume they're for model railroading, or
They're size for all kinds of you can get them, use them for all different things. They're mainly, like you say, from model railroading. You drop the I've got more trees right here that I can show what I'm talking about.
Oh, hold on. Let me take. I was putting up another picture. I'm sorry. I'm chief cook and bottle washer on this thing. There was a put that up there. Hold on. Okay. Let me take that image down. There we go. Now we can see it. Okay. You can hold it up again.
This is how the trees come.
Oh, by our old buddy Erwin Mainway, Johnny Bag of Trees, to go with your Johnny Bag of Glass.
But this, like my D-Day, hit in the right spot. Like my D-Day diorama.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've still got that, don't you?
I actually had to put it on my backup drive. I had to clean up space, but I still have them. I was actually looking for D-Day pictures, and I'd taken them off the computer and put them on the backup drive.
Okay, like these are just the pine trees and the small maple tree, but this is the smaller size. But
Seaplane wants to know, is that Amazon the rainforest or Amazon the online Walmart?
the online Walmart. But then you can get these, which is as long as my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, they look like cell towers.
We got some of those around here that actually, but you get them in all different sizes, and then you use the sizes you need for what you need.
Yeah.
And I ordered it. I had to order 3 different sets to get the ones that I wanted for my PBY diorama.
I'm putting up, you'll see it in just a second, my little diorama of the good German Major's Kugelwagen accident from The Longest Day. And I had a couple of trees like that were available that I used. And I tried to make it as close to the actual screen grabs as I could get. Major Pluscat. And I would say a waste of a perfectly good Volkswagen, except I'm not sure there's any such thing. So,
Hey Max, I'm gonna send you something to your Yahoo.
Okay. Now, I wanted to ask you about your little bomb trolley here and everything. I gather you just rigged all this up from spares, or did this stuff come with your Academy PBY?
That is from actually a short Sterling.
Okay. All right. And let's see. You said it's going to my email.
I'm still sending it.
Oh, okay.
Those figures that you used in the diorama are painted really well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice job on this.
You can even see the tattoo on one of the guy's arms.
Can't be a sailor without a tattoo. Oops, cancel. That's not what I wanted. Hit plus, image, browse. So many clicks.
Yeah, I'm still stuffed right now. I smoked ribs for dinner for everybody that's here
I'll
tonight.
be over in a bit. Let me see. Let me find a good picture to use. Let's go with this one. You and I both had the same idea, more or less. The Catalina either beaching or getting ready to launch, and I did put the one guy out there. I didn't really think to put more in it because they just marshalling him in. At first, I used that cement. It's actually the liquid concrete you smear over. But first I laid everything with that mold sculpt, and then when I got it where I want, I put I used that white that very liquidy glue they use on model train layouts. Ken, what's the stuff comes in a squirt bottle? It's a real thin white glue.
Yeah, when I'm doing that stuff, I use Elmer's glue, watered down 50%.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what a lot of model railroaders use too.
yeah. This stuff comes it's even thinner than that. Poly something. I got it. I think it was a Fran. I bought it.
That polypropylene.
Yeah, I bought it. I think it was a Fran. I bought it at Colonial Hobby, Cameron Hobby, and it works really well. You know, you look at it, is this stuff gonna hold? You know, it's so thin in water. You come back a few minutes later, oh yeah, it's holding real well.
It holds about like concrete.
But I wanted it coming out of the water, so I decided to give it spinny props. And let me find out. One thing I did, though, I was looking at the planes when they came out of the water, and I don't think people appreciate, you know, especially in those brown water areas, how much they churn up the water when they come up and the mud they kick up and everything. It's actually a little on the nasty side. So,
Can I ask a question?
yeah.
On your diorama that you're showing with the palm trees behind it, how did the plane back out of the water?
They would pull them out when they were using that kind of setup. They would actually go out in a boat and hook onto the tail,
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
and they would drag them up backward with that tractor you saw pull the bomb cart.
Yeah.
It would hook onto them and then pull them up onto the bank and pull the tail into the trees, so that it blended into the tree line to hide it.
Very clever.
Now, mine was on a taxi-in ramp, which some of them were able, it was flat enough they were able to taxi in. But I wanted to include all the silt and mud that got churned up in the water from the tires pulling through. And it was really hard to do that. I mean, not hard, physically hard. I didn't like doing it because the water looked so pretty, all aqua blue and everything. But I was like, yeah, but that just isn't what it looks like when you go, you know, pulling 20,000 pounds of airplane up, you know, running up the engines and the air blast and everything. It churns up the water. So that's why I went with that, you know, and include all the little bits of crud that were in the water. And I was like, you know, so.
The guy standing in front of one of the props?
Not for long.
The guy would be backing up like
Yeah, he'd be
a
walking
guy for an
backwards with
airplane, telling the plane to pull up, left, right.
Primarily trying to get the guys to keep their wheels on the very narrow taxiway because they can't see that well.
Yeah, I get that part, but I sure wouldn't want to stand in front of the props. What if he accidentally...
Well, Ken, you and I were at that Catalina in Fort Lauderdale. Those props are pretty much over your head if you're standing on the ground. I mean, I suppose
that prop, the center of that prop is 14 feet in the air, Ken.
So the bottom of the prop's probably a good 6-7 feet up, but you still want to be careful.
Haircut.
I'll tell you what. Where it was dangerous with those engines was in the cockpit. If anything distorted the airframe, you know, an impact or something, because that's a parasol wing, and that's what killed Jacques Cousteau's son in their Catalina. They hit the ground and it, you know, twisted the wing, and the engine of the prop came into the cockpit. I mean, you look at it, that thing is right behind above the crew's heads. And Consolidated made a good airplane, but you know, anything could just distort if you're moving something that heavy, and a sponson or something hits a sandbar or something. People often don't appreciate just how tricky operating amphibious aircraft on the water is. It's the land is definitely a little more forgiving.
I just sent it to you, Max.
Okay.
I read an article many, many years ago, back when Bose was first coming out with the noise-canceling headsets. Remember those?
Oh, yeah.
I remember reading an article, I think it was in Flying magazine or something like that, where they had a pair of the pilot and co-pilot had a pair of those headsets on when they were flying a Catalina.
Yeah.
They said on the run-up, when they first started taking off, that it actually burned the headset out.
Catalina is an extremely noisy airplane. The Catalina is on par with a B-25.
Oh, I did use one. I actually have that picture. I did use it on the intro, so I should have it handy. Let me grab that real quick. Image, okay. I scrambled through trying to get some pictures for the intro, and I used that one because I thought that was a real good diorama. Here, yeah, very one. Actually, I did a screen grab because I'd taken everything off the camera or off of my computer because of the. That's your D-Day, yeah, with the Sherman ambush and the Mark IV.
Yeah, it's got Spinbogen on there. It's been machine gunned and flipped.
And I will say one thing with a Schwimmwagen. I'd rather have a Jeep than a Kugelwagen, but at least the Schwimmwagen looks cooler than our amphibious Jeep. Our amphibious Jeep looks a little dorky.
Yeah, it did.
Hey, Max,
the other-
one of the guys has asked at the end of the show, could you review the group build schedule?
Yeah. In fact, I was going to push it back. I had some requests for the crappy kit build. Some people aren't ready. You know what? Let me let me just stick this into the comment or the comments. Yeah, the description, and we've already done the Irwin Allen build. But I'm pushing the crappy kit build back a little bit. So let me go to YouTube Studio. You guys keep talking. I'm just doing some stuff here in the background.
Yeah, the pine tree, the box of pine trees I was just holding up is the set that I used for that.
Oh, okay.
That's part of it.
Oh,
That's
it looks
what I
familiar.
pulled it up.
Okay.
Up here in the background.
Yeah, and if you look at that picture, you can see in the back where I tried to hide something with them. That's a battery pack.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah.
There's fairy lights inside the smoke ball to make it light up.
I was wondering what you're using there. I thought it might have been a grain of wheat bulb.
No, it was, the 2-wire strings that you use for like in the bottles and stuff. Like they'll put them in a bottle and then turn them on and you turn the bottle into a night light or something.
No, I haven't seen those.
They're called fairy lights. You can get them at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, any of those. Well, I ran them across. If you look, you can see that slope is right in front of the trees.
Yeah.
The wires go from that battery pack along the edge across under the plaster to where the acrylic rod that's holding that puffball,
Yeah.
and the fairy lights are wound around inside the puffball.
That's pretty clever.
Hey Max, can you zoom in on the edge of the puffball? That's my wife, guys.
Zoom in on the edge of the puffball. Which corner do you want me to zoom in? Well, here
Toward the Mark IV.
where you see the center bright light.
The edge of it. Most people don't realize this is there.
Okay, I've got the puffball and the Mark IV in frame. Again, bit of a lag before you see it.
Yeah. See the dark thing right at the edge of the puffball?
Oh, that's the shell.
Oh, cool!
I was gonna say the thing must be in flight because I don't see any boom boom on the Mark IV, but I was like, yeah. At that range, it's gonna whistle right through that Scherzen armor.
Especially since that's a Firefly. That's a 90 millimeter.
Well, now the Firefly was a 17 pounder.
Oh, 17 pound.
That's
well,
a
17
high
pounder, 90
velocity
millimeter, same
76.
size.
Yeah, high velocity 76.
Yeah. No, that's the 17 pounder.
I always have trouble converting the pounders to the millimeters, but I think the 17 pounder was I think it was a 76 millimeter. Let me check that real quick.
I thought it was 90. But yeah,
We put
I
that on
actually
the
made the
Jackson,
shell.
but
How did you suspend the shell?
The shell is actually the end of the acrylic rod that's holding everything up.
Oh.
I just set it up in a lathe.
76.2 millimeter, 3-inch.
Very cool. Nice job.
Yeah, 76.2 millimeter. It's basically it's a 3-inch gun.
Okay, I was thinking it was bigger than that.
Yeah, it's the thing.
I'm thinking about the 19 pounder.
Yeah, that would probably be bigger.
Yeah, most people don't even notice that shell's there.
Yeah, well,
Damn,
it does kind of blend.
DCF said, I thought it was a 77 millimeter.
Yeah, it gets a little confusing. A piece of useful trivia we talked about before: the American 76 that was on the Sherman, it was the Easy 8, was actually a 75 millimeter. They designated 76 so there wouldn't be an ammo confusion. Which you and I both know. Army.
Paul Adams, he says 70 pounder is a 76.2.
That's what I just.
millimeter.
Yeah, I just.
That's what
That's
Max
what
just said.
No,
Ken never listens
76.2.
to
You
it.
left the .2 out.
No, he didn't. He said
Oh.
76.2.
Yeah.
He did?
That's- I
Okay,
did.
sorry. Sorry, I
Pay
stayed.
attention, Ken.
Boy, Ken, even when
They'll
you're
be
at the
attached.
staff meetings, you're missing them. The Cobra helicopter has a 40, depending on how you want to rig it. The old G models and stuff had a 40 millimeter fully automatic grenade launcher in the chin turret. You
Oh, the
could
Mark
even put-
19.
you could put two of them in there. The round that went into it was the M129 round. Now, I was in high school. I hadn't even gone in the Army yet. And in ROTC, they showed us all these leftover Army training films. And they warn you not to try and shove one of those into an M203 or an M79. Which, with enough force, you can wedge one in there. Oh,
But it'll blow
imagine
into
your
pieces.
surprise. The first time I was at Fort Campbell, I've been there a couple of months, and we're going to the grenade range. I'm so excited because I'm the M203 gunner. I'm going to get to go bloop, 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 my M203. I'm all excited. And we go down there, and I see our platoon leader, brand new second lieutenant, and he's going, somebody doesn't look right. And I was like, and here I am, PFC nobody. I'm like, sir, yeah, those are M129 rounds. They're made for Cobras. They are not supposed to go in a 203. And they're like, yeah, sure does. What it says on the side of the can, And so there went boom boom day. Never got to fire the M203 again the whole time I was in the Army. Man, you made me carry this extra 10 pounds around for nothing?
The M129 rounds also go in the Mark 19, the 40 millimeter machine gun.
Yeah. Just the coolest thing
175
since
rounds
pockets, a
of 40
fully automatic built
millimeter
grenade
boom-boom.
launcher.
So you had Captain Stillwell before he went to his Arctic.
Fire the weapon, soldier. The mighty 81 millimeter. Guys used to joke that he goes, you more. If you saw that movie, it was after one of the John Wayne, Sands of Iwo Jima, or one of them, where Forrest Tucker takes the break in the foxhole with the mortarman, and they actually had some coffee going. He goes, you mortarmen, where live the life of Riley. And I was like, yeah, you carry that base plate or that tube around. If you're in mechanized infantry, it's a different story. Remember,
Throw it in the back of the track and don't worry about it.
yeah, we everything we had, we carried. I saw those 11 Charlies. One would have the base plate, one would have the tube. You know how much those freaking things weigh?
That base plate's 43 pounds on a 60 millimeter.
And the barrel's about the same, I would imagine. The tube, excuse
No,
me.
it's about half.
Okay. Then you have the bipod, and somebody's got to carry the sight with the levels and the bubbles and all that stuff. But I'll tell you what, our mortarman, we had a guy named Bezenez, a Puerto Rican guy. And he ran the mortar platoon, or the mortar squad in weapons platoon. And those guys had it down to a science. 3 rounds, they'd be out at the range. In 3 rounds, they could put one on a Volkswagen parked down there. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
I saw a mechanized mortarman. They had a Bradley with a mortar tube mounted in the back of it, where it fired behind the turret.
Mm-hmm.
So they still had the 25 Mike as well as the 60 millimeter mortar. They pulled up at make sure I pronounce this right, Vielflecken in Germany. Pulled up, oriented their thing, called for clear to fire, got clear to fire, dropped 1 round, put it right through the hatch on a target tank.
That's, you think of a mortar as an inaccurate weapon, but it's not. It's
Oh
math.
crap!
They are dead. And I'll tell you something. I don't know. I've heard this statistic stated, but I've heard that for what they cost and the simplicity of operation, that mortars are the most cost-effective weapon on the battlefield.
One of, yes.
I mean, they're brain dead stupid simple. There's nothing to jam. It's a sight and geometry and gunpowder.
Cass Wayne says, that's my advice to anyone considering enlisting. Go mechanized. Light infantry is for people who are planning to have back surgery.
This is not
Amen.
untrue. However, there's a flip side to that, Ken. Every ace comes with a deuce. We didn't do track maintenance.
Oh, hell no. You keep the track maintenance all yourself. I've had to do enough track braking.
Infantry units that are mechanized have to help with the maintenance on the vehicles because it's an infantry vehicle, so they got to do all the maintenance on them. And yes, you have mechanics to do the heavy stuff, but the routine maintenance, and trust me, why do you think, if you guys have ever watched that YouTuber, the Chieftain's Hatch, Colonel Nick Moran, Nick Moran runs a great channel where he goes in, and guy's like 6'6", and he's a tanker. But
Dad was in 100th tank. He was 6'1".
yeah, and normally tankers, real tall is not an asset. I think the Russians had like a 5'7" limit because their tanks are so tiny inside, or 5'4". It was, but anyway, the Chieftain. One thing he always talks about on every track vehicle is track maintenance, track tension. How to do the track tension, you know. And people don't appreciate, and Chris, you can chime in on this. People don't appreciate how easy it is to sling a track off of a tracked vehicle, and what a royal pain it is to get it back on.
Caveat, depending on which tracked vehicle.
Okay, extemporate.
Okay, an M113, ping, it's gone. A Bradley or an M1, you ain't throwing a track off of it. You're going to have to break it.
Okay. So they learned.
Well, M113, the guide teeth on the inside of the track are 1.5 inches tall. The ones on a Bradley are 6 inches tall.
Okay, so they learned that lesson.
The ones on an M1 are 8 inches tall.
Okay.
And they ain't coming off.
And they come off. They do come off. The track alignment teeth are changeable.
Cass Wayne says, my first tour in Afghanistan, first night there, we had a mortar team fire just one round, and it hit a guy with an RPG square on the head.
I believe they're good.
Yeah. But the thing is that the thing about that makes mortars so deadly is they have a very high rate of fire. Except for a dud round, you can't jam one. I mean, it's a tube. And you want to explain to them how a mortar round actually works, because it's not a big charge in the back of it.
No, a mortar round is basically a shaped charge mounted to a rocket motor with a fulminated mercury cap, like used for black powder rifle.
Like a
Primer.
Yeah.
And the tube is literally that. It's a tube with a pin in the bottom of it. When it hits that cap, it goes shoo, and you don't worry about it.
Now that motor's burned out. You're good. That motor's burned out before it hits the end of the tube, isn't it?
Within 3 feet.
Okay.
Depending on the size of the mortar.
Because I know that the reason you get so much push for such a small charge is because it's trapped in the tube.
Yeah.
The early ejection seats actually use gas.
Mortar.
What was that?
120 millimeter mortar.
Mm-hmm.
There's a pop as it goes out of the end of the tube because it's still burning.
Okay.
But a 45, a 60, a 75, or a 90, most of them are always burned out by the time they get out of the tube.
When I was in, the only thing we carried was the 81 millimeter because it was man portable. So we didn't have any 4.2s. Those are all on tracks, and we didn't have any tracks. And although I did ride around in tracks on occasion, I have to admit the M113 did give a smooth ride.
Oh yeah, it would run too. That 327 would haul butt.
Oh yeah, it was a Cummins diesel on that thing. And,
327 horse.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Yes.
Donald is asking you if there's a current model of the Snake Funny car behind you.
I already answered him.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
How's your Imperial coming along, Steve?
Steve's doing the side stream.
I'm trying to.
Huh?
It's still there.
No, I'm talking about the one I gave you.
Oh, that one. No, I haven't gotten to that one. It's in the queue. I have to get the bench cleared off of the ones that have been there for months before I can get to it. But
yeah,
I will.
Now you know now you can see where it came from.
So, getting back to dioramas, so we can occasionally swing back to our main subject.
Well, I've got an example here of a pre-made diorama kit.
Uh-huh.
I picked it up 10 years ago.
Okay. That's a full diorama kit?
Ooh.
Well, if you want to update that, you have to have it chasing speedboats across the Straits of Hormuz.
Well, you see all the stuff in the bottom of the picture?
Uh-huh.
It all comes with it.
Well, that's a great kit. That's an AMT kit. That's a great kit.
Get it where I get the forest off of it. That's the picture of the assembled kit.
But who did AMT get the kit from? Because I don't think they ever cut a mold for the A10.
Ooh.
AMT.
This is an AMT Aerial.
Yeah.
All right. Let me hop over to ScaleMates real quick.
What scale is that?
148.
Oh, nice.
The
A10 Warthog armed with a GE 30mm Gatling gun proved its worth as close air support tank killer during the Gulf War. So that'll give you an idea for the age.
That was originally,
A Towery kit?
Eshy.
Yeah, okay.
Well, it says it has over 200 parts.
Yeah, that thing
Cows
came
for
out in
making the
97.
23rd, 74th Tactical Fighter Wing. Gun bay hatches, air brakes, landing gear, AM-65 Maverick missiles, LAU-7A rocket launcher, Mark 20 Snake Eyes, Mark 82 sticks,
Now,
POD ECM and ALQ, 109 and cluster bomb Mark 20 Rockeye, tractor, lift truck, trolley, aircraft towing bar, aircraft ladder, pilots, ground support crew.
now this says at least a core airplane was originally an Eshy kit. At least I think that's what it's saying here. But I don't think it came with all those goodies, so those are probably newer molds.
Well, I haven't been able to find this particular model on Scalemates at all.
Oh, I just, yeah, I found
I
it.
found the A10, but the A10 I didn't think I didn't see the one with all the
Yep.
ground crew on it.
I'm sitting here looking at it. It says
Okay.
Fairchild A10 Thunderbolt 2, and it says action scene.
Yep,
And,
that's it.
But I don't know when they add it. Now, the green line goes up in black and down to Eshy, which I think means they're connected, but I'm not sure that's because there's an AMT Ertl kit that came out before it that didn't have all the ground support stuff. That came out in '88. That one came out in '97. So
Well, this is post Gulf War.
yeah,
That means it's after 91.
yeah, and there's a Warthog here from Eshy that looks like it's what I think. I think what they may have done. I don't know. Sometimes you get that green line, it turns into a black line, and I'm not sure that means it's a reboxing that kit or not. But I didn't think AMT
It's also,
Ertl.
it's also when Ertl had AMT.
Yeah, but I didn't think that Ertl was that AMT was making airplane molds. I always thought they used somebody else's, but I could be wrong on that.
Wendell wants to know, why does the A-10 have an F-111 crew ladder?
Hey, it's because it was an F-111 crew chief that fell asleep.
The A-10's crew ladder is mounted inside the plane.
Yeah, it pops out of the side of the plane.
It comes out right below the cockpit.
I actually got to close one of those up for an A-10 pilot at an air show, at a fly-in. And yeah, you fold it up, you put it in, you close the door, and you push, and a little red tab pops down to show that it's locked. And you do not want that thing deploying in flight.
I was at King of Fahd Air Base when that A-10 with the 50 millimeter shell hole through the wing landed.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about. Yeah.
Gulf War.
Yeah,
One
things
where
are
later they had the pilot doing this in the hole.
Mm-hmm. They had that girl that got shot up and nursed her plane back in what was it? It wasn't Kosovo. What was it? I guess it was.
Kosovo.
Yeah,
It was Kosovo.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just watching a video about her this morning on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
It took it took direct hit from a SAM.
Yeah, and survived just like it was
Right.
supposed to. The first A-10 pilot I know that was killed in combat. I actually know somebody was there. That was the one in the first Gulf War that he got it back to the base. When he landed, the plane went over on its back, so he was killed, crush injuries. But a person
When he
that
landed,
I
it
worked
went
with,
off the runway in the nose gear pogo.
yeah. Well, a person I worked with was in the little Follow Me Jeep that actually had debris from the plane come through the little plastic windows and everything.
Oh.
And he was like, when he talked about it, he started doing this, because what are you going to do? I mean, well,
Kind of like me if I hear a loud bang.
yeah. Well, usually I've gotten to the point where if I hear a loud bang, I just wave my hand and go, wasn't me. But
No, I mean loud bangs like something.
if Chuck Norris was a plane, he'd be an A-10. I second the motion.
I saw that on Instagram.
Well, you know the old joke about the F-16 and the A-10, right? Says the F-16 was strafing around and goes, my plane has a gun. Shows the A-10 come behind him. Brap! My gun has a plane.
If I could find it, I've got a picture I took at NTS, where the airfield is. It's an A-10 that has two silhouettes on it that nobody realizes what they are. One of them's an F-16, one of them's an F-22.
Oh, by the way, Paul Adams is saying that the support equipment, the Eschi Aircraft Support Group Kit, is what says. So maybe AMT Ertl did cut the airplane mold, but Eschi made the support gear that they added to it.
All I know, I love the model because I've only seen it one time, and I grabbed it when I got it.
Yeah, I still have one Ken gave me 30 years ago that I haven't gotten around to building. It's in the shed somewhere. Now I got to build it chasing boats across the Straits of Hormuz. Apparently, guys, it was just in the news that the A-10 has become the secret boat buster, of the...
The retirement has been canceled.
Yeah.
They're making new ones as we speak.
Every time... Right now, there's some...
The D model conversion has now been put back on green light.
I thought the F-35s are going to take over their job.
They're too fast.
Ken, we've talked about this here before, but I'm going to get into it again. I mean, I have nothing but respect for the Air Force, so I'm not, I'm from an Air Force family. But let's be honest. The Air Force brass, okay, I want to be very specific. The upper echelons, they like high, fast, sleek, sophisticated. And there's absolutely a place for that, all right?
But not trying to hit a tank.
But not trying to hit a boat out in the, or, for that you need down, dirty, ugly, slow. And since we just talked about this not that long ago, the debate still, that there, I didn't realize this, even when I was in the Army, there was still an effort by the Air Force to get combat helicopters away from the Army.
They are still trying to do that.
And I'm like, despite the Key West Agreement, not the Sinclair Brown effort, the two generals in the 60s that worked it out. If I was president, I could probably cause mass coronaries in the Air Force simply by going, I'm going to let the Army have their own combat air support like the Marines do. That popping sound would be brains exploding like scanners all throughout the Pentagon. Here's the thing, and I realize I grossly oversimplify this, and I'm saying this sort of tongue-in-cheek, but the Air Force doesn't want that mission. At the same time, they don't want the Army to have it.
They don't want the Army to have fixed-wing aircraft other than minor transport aircraft.
They only acquiesce on that. And in fairness, because a lot of it's about intrusion, in fairness, you remember when the Army had, was the C-27 Spartans, or the Alenias? They had those little Alenia transports for a while?
Yeah.
My understanding is they got caught down in South America using them for tactical paradrops and stuff, which, you're not supposed to send that where the shooty bang bang happens. And they're like, we're the Army. We do two things. Give us anything, a golf cart. We're putting guns on it, and we're going to go where the shooty bang bang's at. The first thing the Army did when they got helicopters, we're talking before Korean War, okay?
First Army helicopters were in World War II, and they had machine guns on them.
And they're flying around with a Tommy gun looking for trouble,
The first mounted guns were 1919.
1919. They put them on the skids of the H-13, the little MASH bubble choppers, little Bell 47s, and they were out there at the range lighting it up, going, "Hey, this works," And you have to understand, to the Army, everything, including the people, are just gun carriers, And the Army will do something else at the end of the piece with any piece of equipment you give them that goes shooty bang bang. That should be a song. Shooty bang bang. Shooty bang bang. Oh God, I promised I wouldn't sing anymore.
Thank you.
Ken,
I think I know what my next gag move song's going to be.
Ken, could you picture if Max were president, we've replaced the eagle with Godzilla as the country's national,
I don't think the Japanese would let us do that. Maybe King Kong. But the Army takes anything that can shoot at the bad guys. I don't care how big it is or how heavy it is, and they go, okay, how many parts do we have to break this down to so that an infantryman can carry it, an infantry squad can carry it?
Well, you brought up the Jeep earlier. How long did it take them to put one together?
43 minutes, I think.
23.
23. Okay. Oh. Now, Chris, you'll appreciate this. And I want you to keep perspective of the movie I'm talking about here. The movie Kong Skull Island. Has everybody seen it?
Yes.
Okay.
Many years ago, but yes.
Despite the 500-foot gorilla, all right, the part of that movie I found hard to believe, or actually completely implausible, is that these guys are moving to the jungle, and then at some point they decide to set up a 50. Hey, this is a children's show.
This is my wife. I'm allowed.
Okay.
And
Gotta
it's a
figure
pickle
that.
kit, at least.
I am
so-
trying not to make a Kentucky joke right now.
I moved out on the deck so I wouldn't have my 2-year-old and my 3-year-old running around trying to get
Understood.
in video.
We're also asleep.
Oh.
Okay.
Well,
They're passed
I'll
out
talk
now.
softly. Look, I'd like to put my order in. He said you guys made some barbecue.
So
just set a plate aside. I'll be by later. No, the part of that movie I will like that made me go, oh, no, was when they're moving to the jungle, they're moving to the swamps, and then they go, okay, set up here. And they set up a Ma Deuce 50 caliber with a tripod. I'm like, where did that come from? We just saw the montage of them walking across the ridgeline. Wasn't nobody carrying their receiver, you know?
Yeah, that's a 46-pound
Pound-
receiver and then a 22-pound barrel.
And about a 60,
And,
about 40 pound
35
tripod. And then the
35
ammo.
tripod.
And the ammo. People always say, oh, the gun's heavy. Wow. Oh, no. No gun is as heavy as the combat load of ammo you have to carry for it. Those are lead projectiles. And,
No, they're not. Not for a Ma Deuce.
What are
So
they made of?
getting back to
Steel.
getting back to dioramas, which was the topic tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I'm feeling good.
Steve's being the adult in the room.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
got something else that Eric's gonna love as well. But this is another diorama that I'm gonna be working on. I gotta find me a CVE.
Combustible, vulnerable, and expendable.
Well, do you recognize this boat?
That's one in Chicago, right?
That's the one in the Chicago
Museum of Science and Industry. Yeah,
As a
toured it
matter
few
of
times.
fact, this model came from the Museum of Science and Industry.
Oh, okay. That was a Type 7?
Yeah, Type 9.
But what was it a milch cow?
It's a 9C.
Which one was the milch cow?
8.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I'm trying to I gotta get.
Wasn't the 7 the bulk of the fleet, though?
Yes, the 7 was the bulk of the fleet.
Okay. You got to give the Germans credit, man. I mean,
The 9C is the long range one,
okay, yeah,
but
yeah,
this one was captured by one of the little escort carriers.
yeah. The Bogue,
running
I
in the
think it
Atlantic.
was. Wasn't the USS Bogue?
I'd have to look it up. I don't remember.
I was at the Museum of Science and Industry a year ago, and we were. They have a beautiful diorama of the task force that captured it. You know, where the submarines at.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
when I grew up in the Chicago area.
Okay, what part?
My dad worked for Caterpillar in Aurora,
Had family in Oak Lawn.
just north of me. But I was in the Boy Scouts. This was before they moved the U-505 into its self-contained unit that it's in now.
The first time I saw it, it was still outside.
My troop volunteered to go up there and clean the outside of it.
Don't
I
look that
actually got
big
to
till you
walk-
start squashing it.
No, we were sweeping up the leads and the
Yeah.
clutter and everything so it wouldn't rust. But I actually got to walk the outer deck of her.
Steve has already pulled out his yellow card on Max. We need a live stream with the topic being tangent to see if Max stays on topic.
Now, you guys, I was talking about dioramas and things to make dioramas.
So
And
what,
Rob
what-
Altus
what- are
says
you going to do a
dioramas
water
never
line,
had a
or
chance.
are you going to do it as a water line, or are you going to put it in a tank of resin? Because that's going
I
to be
want to
heavy.
do it I want to put it together where the carrier's towing it.
But you're gonna have the whole thing in a tank of resin. You're not going to have it as a water
Yes.
line. Okay.
Yeah, because by the time it was being towed, the back of it was
Or
underwater.
it was
where
underwater.
had
They
parched
almost
it.
lost it.
They almost lost it.
Yeah.
but I got another one that Eric's going to love, and he's probably going to explode when he sees this. Do you know what an HE-111 Zillweger is?
I feel like when you show me, I'm going to say yeah, but it's not coming to mind.
Zwelling, sorry.
Oh, the Zwilling. HE-1. I thought you said AT-111. Yeah. In fact, I think Trey might have built one of those.
Well,
Yeah, the 5-engine tug.
here's the bonus.
Oh, the Gigant. Yeah.
This is a diorama to be built.
You know you're going to have to dedicate a room to that.
No, these are 172nd, luckily.
Still, it's called the Gigant, the German word for giant.
It's the same size as a B-17.
Yep. And even a 172nd scale, those things are big.
I know, I've got a 148 scale sitting in here in the den.
Yeah, I've built that 148 scale. Believe it or not, when I was in the Army, had it on tape, covered the entire top of my locker. We had double wide lockers back then.
Yeah, we did too when I was in the infantry.
Infantry.
I'm trying to pull up some of the stuff that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know, some stuff you need for these,
Mm-hmm.
like that one. What hooked the HE-111 to the Gigant?
I'm sorry, what hooked it? Well,
Yeah, what hooked them together?
Yeah, a cable. But I would, if I was going to make a diorama of that, just for space, unless you're going to hang them in the ceiling, I would probably have them sitting near each other with all the cable coiled up, like they're getting ready to lay it out.
Okay, I'm going to have them sitting next to each other.
Oh, okay.
I've got some 172nd German troops that I'm going to have running with the cable to hook it up.
Oh, okay. There you go.
They're going to be sitting almost touching nose to tail.
I have never heard any reports from German pilots who flew the Zwilling. I wonder what that thing was like, because that's got to be a weird sensation trying to fly something like that.
Overpowered and clumsy.
Clumsy, I can believe. Overpowered, I guess that makes sense with 5 engines. But when you're towing the Gigant, you're probably wishing you had 5 more.
Well, the thing is, the Gigant had something on it that a lot of people don't realize. See these things under the wing?
The rockets?
They're rocket
Yeah,
motors.
they're Walter's rockets.
Well, yeah, but they were quite large if you look at them on the wing.
Yeah, but if one of them didn't fire, you had a serious problem. And you had a problem once they parachuted down, you still had to tow that thing. I know they put engines on them to fly them across the Med, and the Brits, I think one of them made it to its destination, or like 40. They shot them all down.
There was 36. They shot all but 2 down.
Yeah. I think only one made destination, the other made
One of them dove into a
landfall.
fog bank, and the other one was so far out ahead of them where they were having to slow down to pick off the back, but they couldn't catch it before he got under air cover.
But, I mean, don't get me wrong, for a administrative area as a transport, I could see it, but I understand it was not pleasant to fly with the engines on it. The Gigant it didn't have boosted controls. It was all manual.
All manual, it was all cloth.
Yeah.
It
God.
Didn't fly. Yeah,
Still, you
just got it. Because both of us are pilots.
But you just have to admire the grand scale. The Germans believed in one thing: it was gigantism.
Yeah. Now here's one you'll remember because you've talked about it before.
Oh yeah, well, Weasel. Actually, have a survivor my brother built in the other room. That's a good kit too.
Yeah, this is a good kit. I love it. I've built it 3 or 4 times. But
I didn't realize that DC Air Guard used to fly those. I met a guy who was a backseater, and he loved
I
them.
can still get resin kit editions for it.
Okay. I've got a real problem with parts like that made out of resin because I was just earlier today on that Helldiver, the classic miniatures, classic airframes. It's got resin, and the tail wheel's resin. And I tried to remove the flash, and it, of course, immediately broke. There you go. 3D printed.
That's 3D printed.
Yeah, it's a 3D print resin.
Okay. That nice thing about 3D print is you don't normally get flash. The ones I had were molded, and as we speak, it's in there super glued, given overnight to harden.
I don't know if you can see it in the middle.
Yep, I see it.
Yep, there it is.
that's probably one of the best 3D printed resin pieces I've ever seen.
If you can get it out of there without breaking anything.
Well, you just go up it and cut them.
Yeah, I was, when I was, those cameras and Holly studio lights that were printed for me, that when I was trying to snip it out, I kept breaking the legs off. Of course, that was a different medium. That wasn't, you know, the high grade resin.
Yeah.
Bill Paul says, I'm pretty sure the DC Guard flew D model thuds, the Georgia Guard flew G's.
Well, I know this is what the guy told me. He was in a DC Air Guard and he flew the G. Then he was a backseater, so I assumed it was a G model.
That's automatically a G model.
And but this
Or an F
equipment
model.
moves through squadrons and stuff.
Or an F model.
Okay,
The F model was a 2-seater too, but it was the one where they used the bomb bay. See, this plane has a bomb bay on it. Most people don't know that.
Yeah, that's right. It does. In fact,
Because
that was one of the things that it rarely used in Vietnam because it was always carrying centerline bomb. I'm not even going to get into the whole air war in Vietnam because we all know what a boondoggle that was. But Ken, that was a classic example of where the high, fast, and highly technical just wasn't really what they needed for a lot of the work they were doing.
well,
They
that
should have
plane
had
was
A-10s back
extremely.
then.
What was
They
that,
should have
Ken?
had A-10s back then.
They were called A-37s.
Yeah. Actually, the A-10 probably would have fared pretty well in Vietnam. But,
Well, look what the A-37 did, Max.
yeah, well, turned a trainer into a fighter. And,
No, they turned a trader into a ground pounder from hell.
well, I say fighter, an attack aircraft. And a surprisingly good one, but straight wing, you know. The A-10-et.
What's the A-10?
That's what I'm saying. I say the A-37 was like the A-10-et. The petite A-10.
You want to hear the funny part?
Hmm.
What was the weapon mounted inside the? What was the gun mounted on the A-37?
Minigun.
No, it wasn't a minigun.
7.62, wasn't it?
It was a 7.62, but it wasn't a minigun.
It's a Gatling gun.
It was a GAU-1.
Oh, okay. So it was the little.
It was the baby brother
of
of the
the mighty.
GAU-8A.
Yeah.
It was actually a GAU.
That might make an interesting little comparison video. The A-37 against the A-10. You know, the proof of concept for the A-10.
The proof of concept for the A-10 was the A-37. No ifs, ands, or buts about
By
it.
the way, something else people forget: the A-10's got a 200 with a 300-gallon external tank's got a 2.5-hour loiter time. So
The A-10 without that external tank has an almost 2-hour loiter time.
which is compared to what most high and fast planes have. That's pretty good.
Extremely good. Trust me, being what I did in Afghanistan, Iraq, Warthog Lee.
Yeah, it's always nice to know that it's right behind you. And to paraphrase Roddy Rowdy Piper, I've come here to chew gum and blow stuff up.
They did it quite well.
Yeah.
I've called them in danger close several times.
Okay, back to the dioramas.
Back to the dioramas.
Well, I'm still unpacking from my move, where I moved from Fort Leonard Wood down to here, but I've got an A-37 that's done up in the Peruvian Air Force.
I took my A-37 and put it in the Edwards test markings because I've been watching a lot of Ron Rogers videos. He flew that out there. And
Was it yours a T-37?
No. It was an A-37. It was the little Academy kit, and
Mine was.
Hmm?
That's what mine was.
Yeah, and I had to get my own markings for it, and I made it up in the Air Force markings. And then a few months later, I went with Ken to the Nationals, and they actually had the Edwards test version with the proper decals and everything there for $5. I was like, oh well.
Well, you tried.
So you got any other diorama stuff there, or?
Oh, I've got a whole bunch.
Let's get rolling on them.
I mean, there's all kinds of stuff used. Now, this is one that you would like to have had.
Well, I don't do it anymore.
It's fake snow.
That's what?
It's flocker snow.
Oh,
It's
flocker
flocking
stuff.
it's snow.
Okay.
It's real snow, Max.
Yeah, okay. I heard you. Hey, we live in Florida, Ken. Always suspicious of baggies of white. Yeah, get caught with that at the airport and see what happens.
Now, I know Max has these.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love those weathering sets.
Now, did you know you can use them on the ground, too?
Oh, yeah, I use them on everything. Soot is soot, whether it's on a tank, a ship, or a plane.
Yep. Or the ground where the
Mhm.
engines are blowing. By the way, Max, just so everybody knows that I
Yep.
wasn't lying, I use it too.
Yep. I got what. Yeah. Forget.
Yeah, you're
going
the other
around.
one you got it from.
Mhm. Yep. A little sander that can form
There's
sand.
the other two that I've got with it.
Block sanders. Okay.
But these are machined out of aluminum. I made them on a mill.
Uh-huh.
Again, how often do you see gray panel line?
That's true, and black is a little too dark for a lot of aircraft.
Well, there's brown
I've got black and flesh tone.
and there's copper.
What do you? I use them as eyeshadow. Not anymore.
What?
He says I use them as eyeshadow. No man, no Miami snow here.
One of the things that I've invested in that a lot of people don't know you can get is this stuff.
So far, that's the comment of the night.
Now that looked what was that earth texture? Okay, I've got some of that as the cement. So is that a
Well-
liquid or?
No, it's not a liquid. Find the one I was using. I think it's this one.
Scotty says, I have 3 feet of real snow up here.
Had to turn on my extra light. Sun's
Yeah.
going down.
Yeah. Okay, so it's more The one I had dried out, I couldn't get it to.
This isn't dried out.
Okay, mine did. It became a block. Oh, there you go. So it's kind of like a paste.
It's literally about like mud.
Huh. Okay, well that makes that simple.
Consistency about the same as mud. But
I find that real handy for wedging into tank tracks.
well, remember my diorama for the D-Day?
Hmm.
If you look where the road is,
Hmm.
it's made out of this one and this one combined.
And for those who've never had the pleasure of seeing one, going across grass, tanks churn up a heck of a lot of mud and muck. I mean, you cannot overstate the tracks they leave behind.
Oh no, you can't. But then, on top of that,
You know, that's how they used to hunt tanks from Thunderbolts and Tempests. They'd look for the tracks. When the tracks disappeared under the tree, I guess where he's hiding.
but then on top of that, you get these.
You got to turn them around there. Okay, so weathering stuff from Vallejo, weatherizers.
Right, but these are powder.
Okay. You apply them with a brush or sprinkle them on? Or
You brown. This one is a liquid.
okay.
These are powder, and you mix them with this.
Oh, okay. Two-step. What is it? Pigment. What?
Pigment FX.
Pigment
This
FX.
is your clear glue.
Oh, okay. So that's using like that other stuff I use.
Yeah, and then you take these.
You are fully equipped for your soil dioramas, but what about the ships? Because when you do that thing, what are you just going to use resin with paint mixed in, or how do you plan to make the water?
It's going to be a multi-layer thing because the water is multiple colors.
Also, I've learned if you don't lay the resin in layers and let it harden, it'll take forever to harden.
Yeah. A friend of mine did one where he had the sub submerged in it with the depth charges going off around it,
Mm-hmm.
and he poured it all in one slab. It took it 3 weeks
Yeah,
to take it off, and it was still gummy for another month.
Oh yeah. I had put a little too much on the Catalina, and it took it about 4 days to harden. By the way, one thing I've learned: if you're going to do a float plane or even a ship, I suppose, something that a technique I saw was pretty cool was you start laying the resin, right? When you get to the right depth, you CA glue your model to it and then start pouring the water around it. Otherwise, the ship or the plane or whatever will have a tendency to bob up to the top as the resin hardens.
You put your plane in with the keel. You put your CA glue on
Mm-hmm.
because you've got to let it come up the sides naturally.
Yep.
And you've got to be careful how you do it because the Catalina, not so much because it doesn't have them, but I got a short Sunderland and it's got a concave base in it. It'll build an air bubble in there if you don't
Mm-hmm.
tilt it.
Yeah. It's a little trickier, people realize. It's just not a matter of pouring it in there and slapping your model in there.
Yeah, it can get really, really tricky. But yeah, you this was in the wrong box because I've got all my blocking and stuff in another box. But this with the snow, like you were talking about on like on the German tanks and the Russian tanks, there's your snow. You can get it in flocking.
Now, something I've taken to doing when I put usually Russian tanks, I put snow on, and is I spray them with that glue that the same stuff used on all railroads. I just sprinkle the powder on, then turn and shake it off, and then let it dry, and you get a nice thin coat. Like, you know, it's not like super heavy snow, but you can tell it's been falling on it. Then you can build up the barrel and whatever after that.
Well, it depends on what you're doing. Like if you're doing the winter, the Russians would pull their tanks out into snowbanks and hide them. And the Germans would be coming across there looking at this big white field. All of a sudden, boom! Those T-34s all down this big drift through the middle of the field, fire all at once. And that drift now becomes a firing line. But if you want to do something like that, this stuff comes in really handy.
Steve, you ever build dioramas? I know you build a lot of cars and stuff, but do you build dioramas?
I built that Black Beauty Green Hornet garage.
Tell us about the technique you used on that, because that was a lot of construction for that one.
Well, when round 2 came out with a 24 scale Black Beauty, which is a really good kit of that car, I said to myself, if I could only find a 66 Chrysler 300 convertible, I could do the rotating floor garage thing like there was in the show.
How about that was fun?
Well, what I did was I went out and bought a whole bunch of Plastruct, and I made a lattice frame underneath, put the floors in, and then I spaced it out, and I put a big enough piece in the middle that would rotate, and I built the 2 models. Matter of fact, I had a hard time finding a 66 Chrysler 300. I had to buy a promo of a hardtop and cut the roof off. But when I got it, I fixed the 2 cars to the platform and built walls and put, little garage things in there. And it was able to rotate with the 2 cars on it. But it was a lot of everything was, except for the cars, was scratch built. But it was, Plastruct worked.
I still wonder what happened to the 2 cars, those 110 scales that the studio used. I know some executive took those home with him.
They're in somebody's house somewhere. They really are.
I just hope they're up on a mantle or on a shelf, not buried in a box.
The only way you could tell that those cars were models is when you see the nose front shot of them rotate and the 300 comes up. They used some kind of glue that wasn't Elmer's to put the headlights in. So you can tell that the headlights are going. That's the only tip-off that would let you know that those were models, because
but the scene goes so quick.
They were so well done. I mean, they just looked like the real cars. They were really well done.
That was Andy Yanchus and his partner made those out of
It was
block wood.
Andy and Derek Brand did that.
I've only seen that show one time.
Oh.
Well, the guy where he hits the button and the thing rotates and the Black Beauty comes up, the cars rotate. That was done by a guy we knew named Andy Yanchus and his boss, and Derek Brand.
Derek Brand.
And they made those cars out of blocks of wood.
The reason they did that was Aurora wanted the license to make the Green Hornet. They already had the license to make the Batmobile. So the guys at the company, I think it was Greenway, they said, okay, we want to do this scene where the cars rotate. You have to make us the cars, and then we'll give you the license.
That's like what AMT did with the Star Trek shuttlecraft. Built the 2 sets, the shell and the... By the way, did you ever know, did you realize that the external shell of the shuttlecraft is actually smaller than the inside set is?
No.
Yeah.
Didn't realize.
You can stand up straight in the inside set.
Going into it.
Yeah, well, you can stand up straight in the set because it's an interior set. But if you always crouch down coming out of the door because he can't quite stand up in the thing, it's about, and it also tapers a little bit for forced perspective to make it look better or bigger. And But
Never thought about that.
I just happened to, when I was doing the research, because I did those things, I was like, interesting.
But when I built that diorama, which is really kind of the only one I can ever remember doing, I said to myself, when I saw the Green Hornet kit and the whole thing just hit me and came to fruition in my head, I said, this is what happens when you're either a model builder or insane.
Well, I'm not sure where the dividing line on that is.
There's not a lot of demarcation between both, but the minute I saw that kit, boom, a light went on in my head and said, you could do that thing, and this is how you would do it. And it was pretty straightforward.
You talking about building dioramas being insane?
Mm-hmm.
You talking about building dioramas? Have you seen dioramas I built?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, that brings up a question.
Max and I were just talking about this the other day. We were talking about this diorama that was at one of the nationals that this guy did of a European city during World War II.
Oh, the ones all burned out?
Yeah, with all these buildings and boats and tanks, and we were like, that was just amazing. That's like a life's work.
It's like watching that scene from The Longest Day, or the long shot where they're attacking Weestrom. You know, you just follow the French soldiers all the way from where they come out to get into the hotel. And it's like this long shot just goes on and on and on. And I was like, this thing is, what was that thing, 20 feet long?
Yeah.
And it's just a battle scene going from one side to the other. It's got a Stuka above it, you know, making a pass. And I was kind of
Have you ever seen what the guy did where he built all of New York?
No.
He's built all 5 boroughs of New York.
At what scale?
The Empire State Building is 2.5 inches tall.
Okay.
Oh.
But it's 20 feet across.
For that rivals when it was a big secret at the time that the United States Army Air Force built a 100% authentic, accurate model of Tokyo and the surrounding area to train bomber crews, bombardiers on. And they updated the recon photos every time they got them. It had every house, Shinto shrine, everything. And the thing was, it was in like an airplane hangar. So it was enormous. And they had this gantry that went over there. It was completely top secret, and the bombardiers would, train on it because they had a 3D model work. Don't forget, a lot of the old simulators up through the 90s, simulators had a camera that went across an actual model structure, terrain. They used it. I remember they used it in jets and helicopters, and they probably used it for other tanks as well.
Yeah, it was called UCOF.
Okay. You want to tell them about that real
Usually
quick?
for modeling like intersections for superhighways and stuff like that to make sure that the ramps and everything laid out properly. They would actually put a camera with a prism down on the road and actually drive through the model to make sure that everything worked all right.
Well, this brings up a question. How do you define a diorama? Because sometimes people just make a base to put a model on, but I wouldn't really call it a diorama. It's just, so it's not just sitting on the table. But what do you think qualifies as a diorama?
The definition of the diorama is an attempt to show procedure or action.
Okay. So if you just make a base, put a model on it, take a picture, that's not a diorama. But if people are doing something, but if you have characters doing something.
What you and I did with our PPYs.
Yeah, that's diorama.
Mine's most definitely got a lot more action in it than yours.
Yeah.
But mine's pre-mission, where they're checking the oil on the engines, making sure the front turret's working, mounting the bombs, checking the landing gear, doing the checklist on the armament. The pilots are climbing in the back to do their walkthrough of the airplane.
Like a 3D snapshot.
Yeah.
Well,
realistically, that's what it is.
I'd already started my base when I saw what you were doing, and I was like, well, if I'd known he's going to do that, and I looked around, I was like, nope, still got no place to put something that big. I'd still be using the small base.
Well, Eric just pointed out, he said the Hollywood Boulevard scene with the planes flying down Hollywood Boulevard in the movie 1941 was a huge diorama.
Well, that's a movie
diorama.
set.
The P-40 was, I think, 1/48 scale.
That was using the old Lydecker technique, which is just wires. I don't consider a Hollywood movie set a diorama, but I guess it is a form of diorama.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you know, you're not exactly going to put it on your shelf. But then again, yeah, okay, I guess I would qualify.
If it's scale, if it's made
Yeah.
to scale,
Yeah.
by definition, it's a diorama.
Well, Fred Kermeyer says the model railroad's really a big diorama.
It is. They are a diorama.
Yeah, that's fair.
With
Max, you
parts
said
of
you
it
were in
that
the
move.
Museum of Sciences industry. How about that model railroad?
Oh,
Would-
yeah. The model railroad, the Museum of Science and Industry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've seen videos of that. It's pretty impressive.
There's 12 miles of track in that.
Probably runs better than Amtrak.
Probably does.
That's not the highest bar. But the problem I have with model railroading is that it really starts to take on a life of its own if you get into it, and becomes all-consuming, eats up gobs of space. I think I just described model airplanes too.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there going, okay, what's the difference between that hobby and this one?
You want to know how much space was taken up in my house in Fort Leonard Wood with model dioramas?
I'm going to
You
assume.
really want to know?
Go ahead. I know you want to share. You want to say it.
Oh,
I had one shelf in my living room that had 2 dioramas on it. It was a 6-foot shelf.
So you had
They started at about chest level and went all the way to 8 inches from the ceiling and went all the way down one wall and all the way across over to the front door, other than the windows.
Your wife's very tolerant.
My wife's actually building the Tamiya VW Beetle, and we're going to do Herbie the Love Bug with it and have him do him pop the wheelie.
I remember watching that movie at the theater when it first came out. Dean Jones, Buddy Hackett,
Yeah.
and forget the girl that was in it, but
Michelle, whatever, what was her last name? Can't think of her last
was
name.
Bernard Fox the guy they were racing?
Yes.
The only scene I remember of that movie vividly was when he goes to buy the British sports car, and he doesn't have much money, and the guy snatches the wine away from him because he clearly can't afford to buy one. And
you know, it'd be a really cool diorama.
Hmm.
Max standing in front of his old Tarbus.
the late great Scratchy made something very similar to that. Oh, hold on, Ken. Hang on, hold on.
I know you got it sitting around somewhere.
There,
Oh,
diorama. Here,
Michelle
forced
Lee was the
perspective.
woman in The Love Bug.
Little forced perspective there.
yeah,
What, who?
moving back to Cleveland.
Who? Yeah. who was it, Steve?
Michelle Lee.
Michelle Lee.
She was the woman
Ah,
in the Love Bug.
my sister-in-law made that for me. These are made from clay. Me and Gluey and the
That's
cat.
Wow, that's pretty good for
Oh, she's
clay.
very talented. She also made a lot of these shirts and
It's therapy in the home, Ken.
Matt Teven made
Tegan.
made the artwork.
Hey, isn't he having a live stream tonight?
But it's later because
Right, but he is having one. Sarah Jane, stay up.
You know what? We should check that out when we're done here and give him some support. Matt Teven, who does this artwork, did the poster for me and everything, and it has been running live streams of late. But he runs them 7 p.m. I believe in England. Wait a minute, that means this is already over then.
Super PZL says, "What about a diorama of Ken on his boat?"
If I could
That's
find a
a dog.
model of your sailboat, I'd give it to Bruce to build for you because he does a lot of
That would be
sailing
cool.
vessels.
Well, you guys are talking about dioramas. You were asking me about some of the stuff for Army.
Yeah.
How about bricks?
You know,
Well, that's
No,
about
I'm not-
1/8 scale.
Huh?
1/8 scale bricks or something like that.
This one is 148. That one's 148. That one's 135th.
Okay, so they've got a different.
And that one's 135th. Using them for like putting bricks and stuff on vehicles that have busted through walls.
Well, but those were, some of them are pretty big, so I guess they're more like cinder block.
Yeah, they're more like I said walls. But Max, look at an M1 in 1/35th scale. How big is a brick going to be?
Well, it depends on, bricks come in different sizes. That's the thing.
Generally, where the bricks are that they're running through, what are they?
Foundation bricks. So
Which are
it's going to be
bigger.
larger and heavier, yeah. We're not
Those
talking
could
about red
come-
brick on the house.
Those could come in handy if you're doing a New York City diorama. You could have guys throwing them at cars as they go in the diorama.
It also depends on what part of the world you're in, because construction techniques vary. They don't build the same in Afghanistan as they build in New York.
Right.
Oh.
If you look at these look a lot. Here, let me pull a couple of them out. They look
Yeah,
more like
let's
what
see,
you see
that's-
in.
KLSC, that's just wrong. Seriously, no.
They look more like what you would see in Iraq and Afghanistan and over there.
Which is where you'd see an M1 busting through a wall.
Exactly. That's the reason I grabbed them when I found them. But then, anybody want to make a carrier deck?
Or a floor.
I was going to say, that didn't really... it's not teak wood, so it's not a World War II carrier.
No, it's an English carrier.
Oh, okay. Because that looks like
dark,
wood grain.
that dark oak.
Oh, okay.
But
I
you
thought
take this,
wait a minute. I thought the British had armored flight decks.
they did, but they had the wood in the landing area to help absorb keep the hooks
okay.
from bouncing.
All right.
And you could have an armored flight deck that still have wood on it, Max.
Oh, yeah. I just, when you say armored flight deck, in my mind, I just see a steel flight deck. It didn't dawn on me. They put wood over it.
Well,
that to this day is still a running debate whether the armored flight decks were better or not as good a idea because of course, circles.
doesn't hurt.
Going to be a lot of diorama opportunities of the Persian Gulf ships soon.
I mean, just
Well,
empty water.
Just get
Yeah,
30. Just get
just
2,500
hulls
model oil
in
tankers and
pieces.
set them stationary in resin.
Debris in the water.
There you go.
Oh, you talking about the Straits of Hormuz and the...
All you do is you get you a
T-boats.
diorama tray and you fill it with blue water resin. You let it harden and you go, here, Uranian Navy.
Yep.
Now here's some stuff that I got.
The stencil?
Well, that's one. How about battle damage?
I
There you go.
like to do my battle damage the old-fashioned way. Matches.
Well, now you take this and you paint it in a different color, and then you scratch it. So you actually have, I don't know if you guys can see the different shapes.
Oh, yeah. Or you do a vampire and you use red paint.
I actually
and you
have
make the
more
extra
than
blood
one of
splatter.
them.
Oh, there's a Godzilla scrape.
No, that
Oh,
was
yeah,
here.
you need
That was right here.
there you go. You need the
There you
slashes.
go.
There you
There you
go.
go.
There it is. There it is. Yeah. There's the slashes.
Meanwhile, you know who does good, really good, like rust and weathering and salt is Dirt Road Cinderella.
She does. She does beautiful work.
She shows how she does it, and boy, when it's done, it looks real. It's amazing.
For that model ship that I've got, the ship's done. The one I built on the boat. Remember we had the boat on the boat build?
Mhm.
Okay. When I got that home painted up, I used the Dremel to put the claw marks in it. Beautiful. They look great. I can't wait. I need to get that Godzilla done so I can pose it with it. It's supposed to be the Eco Maru from the original movie.
Do you ever use pastels to do like rust
Yes.
and other kind of weathering?
Yes, and it works great. In fact, those Tamiya's are basically pastels, I would say.
Yeah, that's basically what these are.
And I have,
Oh, okay.
I have 3 or 4 of
Okay.
those kits, and they're great.
I saw this
Again?
one guy who was.
There you go.
There you go. I saw this one guy who was using that kind of stuff on model train cars, and he would take a picture outside in the sun, and first look at it, he's like, "Oh, that's a real car." Was he a picture of a train car? No, it was a model car he had done, and beautiful work.
Well, one of my friends is Eric over at his and hers HHQ on YouTube,
Okay.
and he's medically discharged from Iraq. He's literally crippled from it, but he's right outside of Fort Leonard Wood. So we got together. And he showed me some of his pastel tricks, and he has a actual tutorial on how to do like a muffler on a car, like the burnt metal in the muffler, and it comes out looking just like a muffler. And I challenged him, why don't you do that on the back of an F4? He did it on the back of an F4 Phantom he was building, and it looks just like the afterburner shield on a real one, the multiple colors and everything.
So one thing I like about the pastels, is, especially if you lay just maybe a hint of glue, is that you will get texture.
What are you laughing at?
Frankfield says Max does battle damage the old-fashioned way. Drops a shelf full of them on the floor.
That's not untrue.
I didn't bring it out here. If you give me a minute, I'll run get it. I've actually got the bamboo, like the Japanese used to make their aircraft carriers.
I have my own form of PTSD, post-traumatic shelf disorder. Post-traumatic shelf drop.
What's really cool is it's automatic.
Yeah, if you want to go grab something, go ahead.
It just drops all by itself.
We still got half an hour left. You want to grab something, we're not going anywhere.
Oh, I've also got my flocking set out here for you.
Oh, there you go. Kind of a flocking good time.
Well, you and I were talking about, you put up the thing for my thing about the flocking.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I go over is you got to make a mix to make it look right.
Yeah.
And most people don't realize that.
Oh,
so you got your trail mix already made. I mean, literal trail mix.
Yeah. But what's in this bag?
Mm-hmm. Cost you $60, kid, but you'll party great.
Is a combination of all four of these jars.
Yeah. Last time I saw grass, it was all one color. It was AstroTurf.
Do you use that static stuff for making the grass stand up?
Yeah, that's what the flocking. That's
You mean
exactly
this thing?
that thing right
There
there.
you go. Yeah,
I only got one recently. I was shocked how well it works.
Did you see how I showed where to take a paper clip and clip it on the edge and hook this to it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, you take a paper, Steve, or Ken, you take a paper clip and put it on the edge and put something to clamp it down where it's in the glue.
Okay.
Take this little clip,
So
clip it to the paper clip, press that little button, and every bit of grass on it will stand up as you go over it with the screen.
Pretty cool.
Like you're salting a pizza,
Yeah, I've seen that done on model railroads, and it's a really
Pretty much the same thing.
Salting
nice
a
effect.
pizza?
Yeah, so that's the mental image that came to mind. Even as I said it, I thought, who salts a pizza?
Well,
I meant more like Parmesan cheese.
Oh, okay.
you rock.
Oh, cool.
Next to a
This-
ram.
This is literally busted up sandstone.
It's busted up what?
Sandstone.
Oh,
But
there you
It's
go.
pretty cool.
Better than Viagra.
and then, in a lot of, like that Red Baron diorama I sent you pictures of a few minutes ago, Max,
Mm-hmm.
along with one for D-Day.
Yeah.
Wendell says, video of watching grass grow. Oh, joy.
This makes-
You're literally watching grass grow.
This makes your scrub bushes fur on the rocks in that.
Oh, okay.
Let me.
If Max can pull it up, you'll
Yeah,
see it.
I'm getting it now. A few steps here. Save as JPEG.
But there's a lot more to doing this grass and stuff. Like, how you get the flowers in grass? The little
Wow.
green,
How
like
do you go?
buds?
No. Oh,
Well,
wow.
what is that?
They call it blended turf, coarse green.
Oh,
But it's like, you get the little round heads on
what
the
do you-
grass.
So you can paint them?
You can paint. You can lay these out on a piece of tape and paint them yellow or paint them blue or whatever color you want them to be, and they look like the little flowers mixed in the grass. And then you just take them and you add them to your grass.
I'm putting up the picture of your Red Baron triplane here. There, it's popping up here now.
Somebody's asking, said, who's, what kind of diorama that has never
Look at the rocks
been
on the
done,
back side of that picture, Max.
but
What?
needs to be made?
You want me to get it from another angle? Because I think you got it.
No, look, go straight down on those rocks by the wingtip.
Epstein Island, Ken?
What's that?
Epstein Island?
Oh, there, those are rocks you're talking
Needs to be
about.
done,
That's never been done
but needs to be done.
That one doesn't need to be done.
for the court.
No, thank you.
No,
Your
I'm not
Honor.
getting involved in that. But if you look at those rocks on the back,
Uh-huh.
those little bushes you see growing on the rock
Yeah.
are this.
Well, hold on. Let me take the picture down so people can see what you're holding up. Okay, hold it up again. It was what? Oh, okay.
This.
Do you order most of your supplies online? Yeah, I think I've got some of that actually. In fact, I think that may be what I made the scrub out of on the PBY diorama. It's nice
Yeah,
because it's
that's-
clumpy, you know. And it's,
Yeah, it's a little clumpy
Yeah.
stuff that when you put it down and glue it down, it looks like the scrub brush that grows on rocks.
The thing I haven't used the flock on yet that I want to is I got a bunch of, I used a little bit of it one time, but it was too difficult and I didn't realize because you're supposed to flock it. It's the long hay looking hair stuff, you know, that you lay in.
Oh, that stuff is a pain.
Even with the flocker?
Because when you try to do it, you've got to be so close to it that
Uh-huh.
it's a bridge between the diorama and your flocker.
Oh, yeah, okay.
What I had to do with it, if you go to do that, take it, get it in your hand,
Uh-huh.
and do this with it, because it'll slip out of your hand,
Uh-huh.
and then take your flocker empty,
And just go
about
over
6 inches above it,
Okay.
slowly, and it'll stand up.
All right.
And it's
I can
pretty neat
just use
because-
some of this.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm losing it too.
But,
Funny part is, 20 plus years of wearing a Kevlar.
Yeah. Yeah, the bone dome takes a toll.
But there's
Night,
all
friend.
kinds of stuff. I mean, one of my best friends is these little standing things.
Those are sanding sticks, or
They're sanding sponges.
oh yeah, I've got a couple of those. I love those things.
Oh, you know, it'd be a cool diorama. Steve, you might like this. There was you probably know a lot more about it, but it just came to my mind. A cool diorama that's probably never been done that should. There was a race that at the very finish, somebody bumped into another car and actually flipped the car over, and it went over the finish line upside down. I think it came in like second or third or something like that.
No, it was Terry Labonte, and he won it.
Upside down?
Upside down on the
Yeah.
roof. Terry Labonte.
Yeah.
Ah!
That would be a cool
Charlotte.
diorama, Steve.
It would be easy to make.
Remember when Terry Labonte drove the Cornflakes car?
Yep.
It was either
Number 5.
it was either Darlington or the one in South Carolina. Can't think of the name of it right now.
You ought to make one of those, Steve, and send it to him. See if you get any comments out of him.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what I need.
No,
I'm looking at-
you'd probably get a laugh out of him, but he'd probably bite you over.
He might. You never know.
And
That
bury
wasn't the
me in the
Daytona
back.
500, was it?
No.
You know, it wasn't Daytona.
Because it's got him in '93 flipping over. And that was Rusty
Rockingham?
Wallace. I'm sorry.
Clint Boyer finished a race upside down and on fire.
That has happened more times than people realize.
I got Terry Labonte car crash flip to win. I'm seeing the car, but I'm not seeing a picture of the actual when he was driving a yellow Chevy.
It's a yellow Chevy, number
What
5. It's the
race
cornflakes car.
Kellogg's, yeah,
everybody
Kellogg's.
went upside down as he went across the finish line?
Steve's trying to get AI to pull it up for him.
Bristol,
Bristol.
1995 Goodies 500.
Yeah, celebrating says Earhart hit him with the chrome horn.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the Daytona crash again.
He did that a lot.
I'm seeing all these crashes, but they're not actually showing me a picture of that actual. They're showing the car afterwards.
Yeah, they flipped the car over. He drove it into the victory lane.
While he's still in it?
Yes. Yes. They just flipped it up. One of the tow trucks was able to flip it over, and he took off. Flat
Can't
tires
keep
and
a
everything.
good man down.
Kind of makes you wonder, so I guess there's not a whole lot
Back
of
in a
skill
second,
in
I gotta
winning the
look at
race, is there? If you can
Hey,
flip
hey,
upside down.
Hey, Ricky Bobby did it. He could do it.
Dale Earnhardt pushed Terry Labonte at the Bristol Motor Speedway Powder 500. Oh,
Okay, celebrating says he didn't actually flip.
no, I did. 7th position, he's really good. Dale Earnhardt, the Intimidator.
How is Tiger Woods like a baby seal?
I pushed it. Looks like okay.
All right, let's hear it, Kuda Killa.
It'll take 30 seconds for him to hear you. Or if you just type it in, you'll see it right away.
Tiger Woods, simultaneously the best and worst driver ever.
Well, you know he blew a 0.00, right?
He just flipped one the other day. Yesterday,
Yeah.
Tiger Woods.
Yeah, they charged him, but he blew clean. I mean, he could have had something else in the system, but there wasn't any alcohol. That's all they tested him for.
Well, the first crash he had, the one that really broke him up out in California.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know where that was,
Mm-hmm.
and what happened was he was there for a photo shoot. He went to the wrong country club,
Uh-huh.
so he was late, and so he just got all torqued off and just took off, and was going too fast and lost control of the car.
Okay.
And had he not been driving the car he was driving, he would have been dead.
What was he driving?
He was driving a Genesis GV80, the SUV, because it had like 12 airbags.
You know, he really should hire a chauffeur.
Yeah.
Okay, Kudakilla says both Tiger and Baby Seal clubbed by Scandinavians.
Okay.
Stoker Ace had the upside down victory flip in the movie.
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds.
What was that
Yep.
movie, The Last American Hero, or something like that, with Jeff Bridges?
Yeah, that was about Junior Johnson.
Junior Johnson. Yeah, when you told me about that, I looked him up and did a little reading. An interesting guy.
Yeah.
And
When you go to the western part of North Carolina and you take the highway that goes off 40 to go up into the mountains, it's named the Junior Johnson Highway, and then it switches to the Benny Parsons Highway.
Think they're in the NASCAR much?
guys from the area.
yeah. Well, I'm surprised they haven't changed the name of Mount Airy to Mayberry. But
Mayberry.
so what you got, Chris?
They have a Mayberry festival
They do.
there
Yep,
once
that's
a
right.
year.
They do.
Now, you were talking about resin parts.
Uh huh.
I've got a thing where I'm doing a B-24.
A what?
A B-24 Liberator
Oh, B-24 Liberator. Okay.
in a maintenance yard.
Mm-hmm. There's all your little goodies for the yeah. Sure enough.
But it includes the mag heads, 4 of them individual, the cylinders,
Yeah.
the turbo supercharger housings,
Mm-hmm.
the actual turbo superchargers, the mounting trays, the engine blocks, the actual grills that go around the turbo supercharger.
That's going to keep you busy for a while.
And your push rods.
Damn, dear God.
You're building an exposed engine?
The maintenance build.
It's a maintenance build. There's going to be 2 of them sitting on
Tables.
not on tables, on the carts.
Okay.
And they're taking one that's shot apart off.
Are they Merlins?
No, they're
they're
radials. It's funny that
I think it is.
that classic airframes Helldiver I'm working on, the biplane Helldiver, has an engine light. It's got the separate resin block and all the cylinders. And I was actually thinking about making it cowling off so you could appreciate it. It's a shame to cover all that up.
Well, there's a company out there that makes these in one piece. But I got this before before I even knew about that company.
Yeah.
Because you were talking about resin parts and what they turn into, and it's like, well, I just thought of this.
Yeah. Well, the technology's just getting better. And now 3D printing is saving people from having to make molds and everything. So
Yeah, and here's your exhaust manifolds to go into the.
Wow. Wow.
You want to play, Ken?
No. Not at that scale.
This is 1/48 scale.
Ken does HO. He's our resident railroader.
Well, then this is bigger scale than what he's used to because HO Railroad is
187.
187.
Yep.
But
I know. I just built a pair of P51s for a buddy of mine. He's putting them on flat cars.
there you go.
Oh, cool.
I
I'd
was
to
always
see
like,
that.
if you want to build cool stuff to put it on your model railroad layout, like World War II stuff or World War I stuff, people go, yeah, but it doesn't fit. Ah, but it does. All you have to do is put a camera crew in front of it.
We actually.
A movie crew means you can put anything on your railroad you want, and it's correct because.
Well, I found a pair of old Eric from Scale Model that I can't think of the name of it now. The scale model, the classic scale models, the old
Celebrating
scale models.
vintage model kits.
Yes, him.
Yeah.
He could probably tell me what year they were made, but he found them in a.
Yep, there you go.
124 scale Pro Stock Hemi motor. 3D printed.
Wow.
Pretty impressive. So anyway, you were saying he said he had the what?
He had a pair of 190th P51s.
That's close enough.
They were.
Yeah.
That's what we thought. They were close enough. And when we got them done, I looked at a picture from World War II of P51 sitting on a rail car. And what they did was they took the section of the wings from just outside the landing gear bays off,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and folded them up beside them and set them in a cradle.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I wish I had pictures of it. I didn't take pictures of it because I did it in his
Well,
house.
I can imagine. That makes perfect sense. You know, one
Well,
of the
I had to
reasons.
make the cradles and everything,
Oh, cool.
and I made the cradles literally out of this stuff.
Is that wood? Is that the decking?
Out of the decking,
Yeah.
I made a crate. I took the wing,
What do you
Laid
What do
the
you
end of the
use to
wing down
cut
on
that with?
drew a V on it, and then used my drafting stuff to draw like they would curve it out to make the foot.
Uh-huh.
And then this stuff is so thin you can cut it with a hobby knife.
Cool. Well, guys, we got about 10 minutes left. So, we got any outstanding business or anything? Or Ken?
How about posting the schedule of the builds?
I
'Cause
I
it's been asked.
already put it in the description.
Oh,
It's there
okay.
now.
You were asking about how thin this
Oh,
stuff
there
is?
you go. Okay, good. Yeah. I mean, it's like it'd be nice and malleable, good to work with.
Oh, you can make a boat out of this in about 30 minutes.
Several of Max's movies that he made
years ago were done on our model train layout
Mm-hmm.
at the club.
Yeah.
Some of the guys watched those videos and recognized where it was made.
I think some of those videos have disappeared. Like the what was the one? Was it the Beaches Area Model Railroad Club or something? The one that.
Yeah.
I've got one more diorama that I'm getting ready
Oh, the
to
one
do
in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
that
the one in-
Steve's going to really appreciate. Buddy of mine just bought one.
There you go, Steve.
Oh, yeah. The 14.
He just bought this one,
See,
and
visual.
when he bought the real car,
Oh, he
His
got the
dad-
car, not the
his-
Oh, he's
model.
got the real car?
yeah, he's got the real car. I'm building this to do his.
What
He
is
found
that?
out that his dad had this one sitting in the barn.
Ooh.
What
It's
cars
an
are those?
original Falcon Thunderbolt.
Oh wow.
Falcon Thunder. I don't think I've heard of that one.
It's a
That's pretty
Ford Falcon
cool.
with a 427 side oiler in it. Factory.
What is the scope of the thing with the crossover build later this summer? The crossover build is a crossover of, like any two things you want to do.
Cool.
If you want to do sci-fi, like Star Trek versus Star Wars, something like that, or if you want to do Vietnam meets, World War II, something, whatever, the idea is to take two genres or two areas at a time. Anything that, use your imagination, because everybody's got that little thing, oh, what if we had,
Take my Fokker DR1 and put it against an F-18 Hornet.
well, think Final Countdown,
Final countdown.
And,
A6M2 versus F-14A.
something like that. And it doesn't matter what it is. I mean, it can be science fiction, it can be science fact, it could be, cowboys versus aliens, Ballet of
That's a movie. It's already been done.
No, but I mean, if you want to do the build that way, I had something in mind. I've already forgotten what it was I was going to do, but I actually saw one little thing somebody did, an animator. I think he was a student, so it was pretty good animation of a squadron of wildcats taking on UFOs. And
Saw that.
you saw that, yeah.
Yeah. I saw it on Instagram.
But
How about starfighters taking on a starship?
yeah, that
Actually
would
have
qualify.
a model of the Babylon 5 Star Fury.
I've actually got one built on the shelf, but have that fighting a TIE fighter. Although I'll be honest, I don't think a Star Fury could touch a TIE fighter.
Yeah, I was gonna have it fight. I was thinking about maybe having it fighting an Iranian F-14.
There you go. If there's any left, but
No,
Terminator versus Wolfman.
How about Terminator versus Wolverine?
There you go. Oh, even better. Yeah. Whatever you guys want.
How about Wolverine versus Wolfman?
That would be over in 3 seconds.
Yeah, I think Wolverine's got the upper hand on that one, but then again, it depends on which Wolfman. Some of them had like super speed, but
Yeah, but when those adamantium claws go from bottom to top or top
Oh,
to bottom,
yeah,
and
really.
you've got multiple pieces, it's not going to work.
Here you go. Cass Wayne says, so I could do a Tesla Cybertruck in a 1950s car show. Is that crossover enough?
No,
yeah,
it's ridiculous.
I would think so. Of course, I think I have seen Tesla Cybertrucks at car shows surrounded by 1950s cars, so not sure how much of a reach that one actually is, but
That's a nightmare.
but just have fun with it.
Is that where they mistake it for a dumpster at the show?
Yeah.
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 Fast Sports is asking you, Max, did you watch the Enrico Racing Piston Rings movie I posted?
The last thing I saw, John, was where you did the quick build on the car. Can we build one? You did it like in real time. So I'll have to go check that out. Best Battle Artwork Show, World War II style nose art.
How about a spaceship on the Smithsonian grounds?
There you go. Well, here you go. He wants to do a hunter killer, a Terminator hunter killer in Ukrainian markings. There you go. You see, that would work. Some guys have already done stuff like putting X-wing fighters in Battle of Britain colors. I think it was a Trey did a TIE fighter in the World War One German colors or something like that. Yeah, but you know that kind of stuff. Have fun with it. That's the whole idea. I just want you to enjoy yourself. A Tesla Cybertruck, a Tesla Cybertruck with a "Follow Me" sign in front of a B-29.
Oh, and John says, please check out the AI movie I did.
Okay,
That could be interesting.
I will. And let me make a note of that so I don't forget because I got a 10-second memory.
Like a goldfish.
John's AI movie. What was it called? Enrico Racing Piston.
There we go. Kuda Kill's got it. Killer Rabbit from Monty Python versus Xenomorph from Alien.
How about Killer Rabbit from Monty Python versus Night of the Lepus Rabbits? That was a giant rabbit movie. I watched that movie and I was like, this is ridiculous. You've got rabbits, giant rabbits as the villains. All I'm seeing is a big stew of Hassenpfeffer. Then I saw Watership Down, the animated one, and went, okay, rabbits can be terrifying.
The question you should have asked yourself as you were watching that giant rabbit movie was, why?
Yeah, really?
Oh, John says, here's the video.
Oh, okay. If it doesn't come through, email the link to me. And yeah, he did the TIE Fighter
Hey, Max,
and Desert
you were
Luftwaffe
talking about
scheme.
the planes you do, the planes you've been doing in the French markings.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there you go. King Cobra. And you'll notice I noticed it was a King Cobra.
Yeah, you noticed it was King, but you noticed the brand.
Oh, NPM? Yeah, you're going to have your hands full. By the way, side note, I think Greg just did a thing of Greg's Aircraft and Automobiles just did a thing on the King Cobra. That was actually a pretty impressive airplane.
It still had the same problem the 39 did, though.
Yeah, it had a couple of them, but still it was a pretty hot performer. And they were successful racing planes after the war.
Yeah, they're very, very balanced. They could maneuver like crazy.
And they had a lot going for them. Very clean design. But, of course, what I love is, man, Captain Tangent just landed. They built the big radial engine-powered version of the Flying Flapjack, and they didn't fly it. They had it ready to go for the test flight. And they didn't fly it because they said, no, we're going to jets. For the crossover build, a French tank attacking and advancing. No. It's a crossover build, not a fantasy build.
No fantasy builds. Okay.
Well, guys, that's it. It is time to say our goodnights. Chris, I want to thank you for coming out and spending the evening with us. And
It's not a problem. I enjoyed it. Not a lot of people understand me talking about the dioramas, and a lot of them that I build, like the military ones, are from experience.
Mm-hmm. And guys, Chris has his own YouTube channel, Copperhead Modeling. He does a lot of instructional videos on this stuff. It's worth checking out, especially like me. I don't do that much diorama stuff, so it's always easy to go over there and see a couple of really straightforward techniques. That's it, Eric, the XF5U. Yeah. God, they built the thing. They should have flown it at least once just as a proof of concept, Well, we're going to go with jets. I'm like, dude, it's, to paraphrase Amy Farrah Fowler from The Big Bang Theory, just saying, it's right there. Yeah. Second base, just say it. It's right there. Gotta love that show.
They're still advertising that show.
Guys, thanks for coming out. Eric, you got any parting comments you want to make or anything?
Eric?
I just spent all this time with. Sorry, you and Eric know each other.
Checked out early.
I Hey, I've got like you and Eric and Paul and all these other people that like different pairs. They all know each other and know me, but different. So sometimes as my wife and I recently learned a really good phrase that applies to me. Oh dear, my blonde is showing.
Me, it's gray.
Chris, you got anything cover before we go, or?
Well, anybody has any questions about my techniques that they have seen on here, and I've showed you a lot of the stuff that I use, come over to my channel and message me. I will gladly make a video to help anybody. I will go through steps with anybody. I'll converse back and forth with anybody. I love doing this stuff. I retired from the military from 26 years, and I sit at home with my daughters. I'm a stay-at-home dad. I'm 100% disabled from the military. This is how I make my day go through. And it's just, I absolutely enjoy it.
Well, thank you for your service. And before we go, I want to make sure to get that in there because I know it's been customary. A lot of people just say that as a throwaway line, but I really do mean it.
Well, you too, because you served just like I did. You just didn't serve as long.
And me and the Army had an agreement. They told me to leave, and I did.
My last 6 years were stop loss.
It's all about when you're in, baby.
No, I was in the 75th Troop Command on the other side with the transportation. I was the only 88 November in the whole Troop Command.
I was in when Reagan had become president and the military had gotten a big influx of money. And they basically looked at a lot of us and said, now that we're properly funded, we can do better than you. And they were right, you know. But it was a mutual agreement. No, but I am very proud to have served. I want to thank you for your service. And Ken, before we go, quickly, any boat news that we should be made aware of? Ken is.
I got Starlink working.
You got Starlink working.
Yeah, Starlink is officially working on the boat.
So at some point we got to do the live stream from the boat while at sea.
I gotta
You
rate that.
keep that.
And
I'll be the one in the life jacket, slathered in shark repellent. Because Ken keeps his boat about 20 miles from the world's largest breeding ground of bull sharks.
Yeah, that's real smart.
Yeah, Jupiter, Florida isn't Jupiter supposed to be like the big breeding ground for bull sharks?
I don't go at Jupiter. I go at Fort Pierce. Jupiter's a lot further south,
You what, 20 miles?
at least.
Sharks can swim really fast. Really
Yeah, well, they
far.
like company too, so they stay down south
Yeah.
where it's warmer.
Okay. Steve, anything?
Yeah, just, hey, thanks for tuning in, guys. We hope that you enjoyed it, and we all got to learn something tonight that we probably didn't know. So tune in again next week, and we'll see what we can surprise you with, because it surprised us.
Guys,
Anytime you want me, Mac, I'll be glad to come back.
okay. Guys, take care of yourselves, and as always, model on.
I like to say, God bless, keep you safe, and may the Styrene River flow in your favor.
Box on the table, tiny trees, tiny cars, little bag of soldiers, and a painted paper sky. Instructions like a treasure map folded on my knee. Sunday in the kitchen, just these pieces and me. I've got glue on my fingers, time on my side. Whole little worlds in the space of a tide. If the big world's heavy, I just stay where I am, lost in my living room, building plastic dreams in my hand. Clouds in cotton batting, snow made out of sand, a river from a ribbon winding through the land. Dad walks in and lingers, says I had one like that, leaves a fingerprint on a farmhouse roof and smiles as he pats my back. I've got glue on my fingers, time on my side. Whole little world's in the space of a tide. If the big world's heavy, I just stay where I am, lost in my living room, building plastic dreams in my hands. Street lamps on a cardboard hill, tiny tracks that never end. I move the tanks an inch or two, like I'm rewriting what has been. Outside it's all too fast, too loud. Here I know the master plan. I can stop the storm with a bottle cap, bring the sun with a desk lamp stand. Oh yeah! I've got glue on my fingers, time on my side. Whole little world's in the space of a tide. If the big world's heavy, I just stay where I am, down on the carpet floor, building plastic dreams in my hand.
Please don't tell Scotty the warp drive won't light. The wires and LEDs fit is too tight. Forbidden Planet Star Cruiser looks like it died. The Millennium Falcon looks like I pimped my ride. My Star Trek ship's got a tilted nacelle. The saucer section's gone straight to hell. Robot from Lost in Space is laughing at me. The whole shuttlecraft is stuck on my knee. Please don't tell Scotty the warp drive won't light. The wires and LEDs fit is too tight. Forbidden Planet's testing my grace. Lost in my work on Lost in Space. Why do the lights flicker? Why won't they glow? I soldered and taped, but the power won't flow. Captain Kirk would never deal with this mess. I think I'm losing my model builder finesse. Skywalker's X-Wing sags, no matter how hard I try. I glued it back on, now it looks like a Y. The Jupiter 2 looks like a big tater chip. I'll use the Death Star as a bowl for some dip.
golden ticket, half wrapping, matchbook number in my palm. You light your smoke, drop a secret like a joke. Say, kid, you better keep calm. Midnight on the runway, engines humming low. We don't have a passport, we just gotta go. Suitcase full of trouble, heart about to burst. If the law hits the platform, we move first. We move first. Hey! Shadow on the platform, fedora pulled down, glove on the rail by your side. You take my hand, we jump past the band, cut through the crowd on the fly. Midnight on the runway, engines humming low. We don't have a passport, we just gotta go. Suitcase full of trouble, heart about to burst. If the law hits the platform, we move first. We move first. Hey, hey! Whistle starts screaming, whole town dreaming. We're just two names in the file. You kiss me quick, flash of lipstick. Run, darling, we laugh and sprint the last mile. Midnight on the runway, engines humming low. We don't need a promise, we just need to go. Suitcase full of trouble, heart about to burst. If the law hits the platform, we move first. We move first. Hey! It feels in the land. Hit the open bottle of paint again. Colors flying into the wind. Landed on the model I just did. Why can't I remember the lid? Glue had gotten on my thumb, smeared it on the canopy, ain't that dumb? I'm a klutz, that's for sure, but somehow I endure. Building models, building models. I'm a klutz, that's for sure, but somehow I endure. Building models, building models. I'm a klutz, that's for sure, but somehow I endure. Building models.